Today's video is sponsored by We Are Pickleball. If you want to watch their upcoming March 2023 miniseries to learn exciting tips about pickleball, then make sure to check out this link and register yourself ASAP. Every pickleball game, especially at the beginner levels, has opportunities for players to score easily, either by taking advantage of their opponent's mistakes or by positioning themselves favorably. Yet what you might be lacking is a small arsenal of pickleball strokes that will leave your opponents bewildered and unprepared. This video explains 5 sneaky shots you may use in pickleball to score big. Obviously, you can't rely on these shots too heavily, as your opponents will eventually figure out what you're up to punish you. A well-timed shot, though, could be the game winner. Hello and welcome to Pro Pickleball Media, your #1 spot for all pickleball content. Our channel is dedicated to the fastest growing sport in the US, and we cover all fun and exciting things related to pickleball. So if you love pickleball and want to learn more about it, just take a second to subscribe and press the bell icon so you don't miss any of our recent videos. In today's video, we're going to talk about the top 5 deceptive shots in pickleball that you can use to smash your opponents. Now let's get right into the video. Number 5, the flick speed up. This shot is typically used in a dinking situation where all of the players are up in the kitchen. To execute the shot, we'll take back our paddles as we would for a regular dink. But instead of hitting a dink shot, you'll flick our wrists the last time. If done well, a rapid drive shot might catch your opponent off guard. This short flick is far more effective than dragging your club back as you would on a normal drive. It may be done with either a forehand or a backhand, but most people prefer the forehand. That unexpected moment of surprise is what makes this photo so effective. Another thing to think about is where to drive the shot. The person directly in front of you is often the finest target to aim at, especially if you just finished a cross-court volley. You appear to be aiming across the court again, but instead you flick your wrist, causing the ball to strike the opponent standing in front of you. Aiming directly down the middle between your opponents is also a good option. Number 4, the disguised drop shot. The video is titled Deceptiveness for a reason. The following shot is the inverse of the preceding one. Take attention of your opponent playing back towards the baseline this time and drive your paddle back as if you're preparing to drive the ball at them. But instead of a drive, you perform a fast drop shot that lands just inside their kitchen that they can't quite reach to. This shot is particularly effective against slower opponents with limited mobility. Yet there are 3 other instances in which this shot can be useful. The first is off the bounce and your opponent smashes the ball too high on their drop shot by accident. The secret to the efficacy of this shot is to fake the drive and slow down your paddle. The second scenario occurs after a higher, simpler volley. If your opponent pops the ball between your shoulders and hips, go hard to their feet. Yet you can sometimes add deceit by behaving as if you're about to do so, then cutting it short. The last application of this shot is off an overhead ball. This provides you with an excellent opportunity to drop the ball short instead. Simply return to your slam position and evaluate your paddle. Then softly touch the ball over the net. If you get an overhead shot opportunity and your opponents are ready back, you'll most likely go even further back to prepare for your slam shot. Now before we move ahead to talk about more game-changing pickleball tips, please take a second to like this video and subscribe to our channel so that we can keep bringing more informative pickleball content to you. Your little contribution means a lot for us. Number 3, the lob. All players in front of the net, lobs are most commonly used. This shot works well in this situation since no one is expecting a ball above their heads. The goal is to avoid telegraphing the lob shot, which is comparable to the wrist flick. Take the paddle back as if you're ready to dink, but at the last second, flick the ball over the heads of the opposing team. This finesse shot takes a lot of time to master, but once you do, it's a terrific shot to have. If you hit it too light, your opponent will have an easy overhead. If you push too hard, it will go out of the bag. The final trick to this shot is to try to lob over your opponent's backhand. Hitting it over your forehand increases the likelihood that you'll be able to reach it with the paddle. Learning technique and foundations are critical when it comes to mastering a certain pickleball shot. The lob shot is no exception. There are few essential requirements for a good lob. First, consider the timing. Secondly, paddle face position is important to execute a lob without hitting the ball too far out of bounds. You want a smooth upward swing with the paddle face angled up towards the sky. After you're comfortable with your paddle's angle, start adding spin to your upward motion by flicking your elbow and wrist as if you hit the ball. Go here for a comprehensive look at the top paddles on the market for putting spin on the ball. Mark from Third Shot Sports does an excellent job of emphasizing the concept that your entire body, not just your arm, does the work. Arm mobility isn't the only factor in a good lob form. Your arm and swing produces accuracy, while your body actions follow-through provides power. From the swing throughout the follow-through, good technique should be evident, utilizing not only by your arm, but your entire body. Mark does an excellent job of emphasizing this. Understanding what to lob is also essential. Superb lob opportunities usually arise after your opponent has hit a weak shot or a little dink that lands in the no-volley zone in front of the net. This allows you to go beneath the ball with authority and lob it back over their heads. Number 2, the poach. While you're in the kitchen with your partner, you're usually in charge of the balls that pass through the area you're standing in. Yet, if you time it right, you can snapshot a ball intended for your partner by crossing over it to their side while your opponent isn't expecting it. You poach the ball from your partner with the best of intentions. This shot is mainly used by players on the serving team. After one of the player hits their third shot, the other player creeps to the kitchen. The third shot is good, and the person who hits it still back. The opposing team will most likely hit a ball at the player who's still back. The kitchen player can anticipate this and cross over to pick the ball out of the air with a hard volley stroke between or away from their opponents. The disadvantage is that if your third shot isn't good and you've committed to poaching, the opposing team will have a wide open gap to hit the ball into for an easy score. Poaching is dangerous, but if done correctly, it can be the shot of the day. Number 1, the spin serve. A tremendously good spin serve is one of the most vexing shots in pickleball. Many players avoid using it because it has the potential to spoil a match or irritate your opponent. Unless you're a pro, it's usually not a good idea to make everyone you play with despise you. Yet if you need a point and don't want to alienate your regular playing partners, try this infamous shot. The purpose of the serve is to spin the ball in your palm so that it flies off in one direction when it hits a surface. Because 2022 rules limit you to spinning the ball with one hand, it takes some practice. And incidentally, the spin is so effective that it's strictly prohibited on the PPA Tour. So, what is your most favorite and lethal shot selections when it comes to pickleball? Tell us in the comments. Also, don't forget to like this video and share with your fellow picklers. Also, if you love pickleball, then make sure to watch this next video on our channel. Thanks for watching. Bye.